Welcome back to Wake Up America Weekend. President Donald Trump announcing on Truth Social that he's ending all trade negotiations with Canada, furious over an Ontario-sponsored TV ad that used Ronald Reagan's voice to criticize U.S. tariffs.
Yeah, now the ad costing $54 million and airing during the World Series accused tariffs of hurting American workers, prompting Trump to call it crooked and fake. For more, we're going to welcome in business correspondent, global business consultant Hilary Fordwich. Good morning, ladies.
Hilary, Ontario Premier Doug Ford paused the campaign after Trump's post. From your expertise, how effective is this kind of economic pressure in trade talks, and what risks does it pose?
Well, Sarah, there's what risks it pose, and pleasure to be back with you particularly, what risks it pose and how effective it is in normal circumstances. And there's dealing with President Trump. You know, obviously they have not read The Art of the Deal. One thing I think the British, not just because of my accent, but the British did rather well. Sir Keir Starmer, of course, being a Labour MP, very far left, very liberal, democratic, not the same policies as President Trump. Nevertheless, the British were very smart and they worked amicably and sensibly with President Trump. This silly move by Canada, all they're doing is alienating President Trump. They're kicking themselves in the foot. This is literally a home goal, an own goal.
Hilary, quick follow-up to that. We do know that Canada announced that they may be looking at Asian partners. 30 seconds, what are your thoughts about that, and what will that do for the market and for consumers long-term here in America?
I think that's going to make things even more jittery. They always say, what do they say, that the refuge of the cautious is gold. Gold prices are going to go up even more, I would predict, due to this. I would say that, again, I think it's an even more silly move. Why alienate your closest partner, your closest ally, geographically, economically? Actually a really rather silly move. And all they're going to do is not only alienate, but irritate President Trump even more. Will not end well for them. I can predict that.
That was a boost. Hilary, now the average long-term rate fell from 6.27% to 6.19%. What is behind all this, and isn't this a good time to buy?
Oh, it's absolutely a good time to buy, and interest rates are likely to come probably down at the next Fed meeting. Another at least quarter point. Some people even say a half point. But I would say, TW, what's going to be really important, yes, it's a good time to buy. It's going to be really good for the economy because, you know, there are 10 to 1. 10 people are waiting for every one house on the market. There has been a limited supply because of the golden handcuffs of those extremely low interest rates at about 3%. So once interest rates come down, you'll see more supply coming onto the market. And last but not least, remember that for every house that is purchased, there's an 11 to 1 ripple effect in terms of all the things people buy for their new homes, bed, whether it's furniture and all the decorating items. So there's going to be a huge ripple effect and good for the consumer.
Good stuff.
Yep. All right, we're going to have to leave it there, guys. But thank you for joining us, ladies. Tracy Burns, Hilary Fordwich, always a pleasure to have you both on. And Charles and Cherie, thank you very much as well.